Hello and welcome to this video. My name is David Dawn. In this FPV manual mode video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do orbits around items, bound objects, around things. Okay, and this basically essentially is the yaw spin, and you want to be able to master the yaw spin already. But in order to be able to do a good orbit, you need to have some form of momentum beforehand already. Now, it's very difficult to do your orbits from a distance with FPV drones in manual mode, because you need that constant horizontal movement. All right, and if you've got that DJI drones and so on, you can do a really good orbit, but you really need to be closer up to the object to do a good orbit. So let's just take this tree as an example, and once you get in and you've got the spot on it and you get the orbit going, there you can get. Yeah, that wasn't a good example. Let's try it again. It takes a bit of practice to do, first of all, to get the setup of it, to understand how the setup works. You need to get the momentum, and once you've got the momentum, you can take the power off and just let the orbit come in like this. And then once you've got it, yeah, that wasn't a great example again, but I just trying to show you that how you need to get it set up. You need to get the speed in, you need to get the momentum going of the drone, and then once you've got it, then you can get the orbit going. Oh, that's better. There we go. See, there we've got the momentum of the drone going, and then we can orbit in. And we lost the speed of we lost the momentum of the drone, right? Because I wasn't throttling on in that same direction anymore. So we have to get the speed going, and then once you're in there, then you can orbit. And you're not going to orbit for a long amount of time, but it's potentially a really good yaw spin. And try and get a high frame rate as possible, because you want to be able to make it to slow it down as much as possible. And learning how to do it in both directions is also a skill. And I can do it better. I can do it better in the counterclockwise direction. Let's go all the way down to this factory thing down here, this industrial estate, because it's got a nice sign on there, which I like. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not an easy thing to learn how to do, and I would start learning how to do it with a drone not in manual mode. Right, so you always got that the altitude, the attitude, or whatever, the altitude that stays the same, and then when the drone can keep moving in the direction that you want it, then you can start moving around like this. You see how it's nice and easy like this, and you can orbit round, and you try and keep it flat and go through the steam, and then come back slightly and flatten it up once again. And then we come in once again. Let's go and try and get this sign. Or let's get these tanks first of all, and just orbit round. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. You want to remember that to keep a little bit for the editing out. Like if you want to do any like speed ramps out of it, remember for the speed ramp out of it. So keep going, keep going, keep going all the time. So the angle is important. I can't really teach you exactly how to do it. You just got to understand that it does take some practice to do, and it's all about, it's a yaw spin, yaw spin, yaw spin, yaw spin, yaw spin, and there we go. And moving it around. You'll have to slow down the footage to see what I'm doing with the sticks, all right? Because let's try and explain it, right? We want to keep looking at the telephone pole. So sorry, let's take this light. Well, let's go back to let's take this light, for example, right? We first of all need to be able to know that we can keep the light in roughly in the center, right? So don't worry about keeping it flat. We just want to keep the light in the center. That's the only object here, is to keep the light in the center, and try and you'll find that you will come closer to the object. All right, so get some momentum up, get the light in the center, or get the object in the center, and then try and keep the distance going out, but flatten the camera up. And then now you see I've got to come off with the throttle, so I keep everything in the center, and then we can start spinning a little bit more, And once you get there, you can start moving out a little bit, and then we can start moving in again. And you might get a couple of orbits on this. So like I said, I tend to do a counterclockwise orbit just because that's what I'm better at. But you can see here I can do it on the clockwise one as well. I can't do it as well for sure, but I can. You need that momentum, right? So get that momentum, get the object in the center, get the momentum going, and you don't have to do an orbit like for a minute or something. It's probably like maybe a 3-second orbit. So let's get the object. We're not going fast enough there. We need more speed. Let's come back out again and come to the side because we want the orbit from around there. Let's get the speed up, tilt the drone to get the angle, and then come round. There we go. And then just your spin, come off the power to get it, and then your spin in. Still pretty cool, right? I maybe didn't do it as well as what I should do, but I still think there's a pretty awesome effect that you can do with this. So let's try once again. Let's try and do these stones here and just orbit round, orbit round, orbit round, orbit. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Pitch forward, pitch forward, pitch forward. Keep going. Pitch forward, pitch forward. And yeah, you see now we've got that nice orbit, right? You know, it's completely subjective, and then coming close. I like that final bit where you just come in close. So let's try and orbit this tractor, this digger thing, and slow it round. Slow it, slow it, slow it, slow it. We're gonna. Oh, that pure luck that was. Pure luck that went through that gap. But so you got to slow back on the throttle, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, and then try and come back out of it at the end. Right, let's come round here again and try. Let's try and do the sign going left this time. Or this, we want to try and do that sign there, which I'm lined up with. And we'll try and come around here. And there we go. And orbit round, orbit round, orbit, orbit. Keep it in the center, keep it in the center, keep it in the center. And then try and do something cinematic with it at the end. There we go. Let's do the lorry now. So I think there's lots of different styles of orbits that you can do. You've always got to keep looking to where you're going, and so you're looking at the right hand side of the screen or right hand side of your viewfinder or whatever it is that you've got in your goggles, and then also, yeah, see, you don't want to go into things. So let's come back to the beginning again as a bit of a punishment for crashing, and we'll just orbit around this house. And the best thing to start with is your spins, right? Your spins, because once you've got them, you can loop around stuff like this, and you practice your spin around that. Then you get a nice orbit. Yeah, so you know you need a yaw spin to do an orbit. Okay, so an orbit is not a yaw spin. An orbit is really something else, because a yaw spin could just be something quick. A yaw spin is about an orbit is about keeping that item in the middle. That's the whole point of the word orbit, right? It's keeping an object in the middle, and you are rotating around that object. Whereas the yaw spin is just you basically turning. You could be with a yaw spin, you could be the center object, right? That could be the thing spinning, and other stuff could be spinning around you in that sense. Okay, so we need to think of it the other way around. We need to be orbiting around that one house. And like I said, I find it easier to do it going clockwise. Now, if you are going to do that, make sure that there's no movement of like cars or birds or stuff like that when you do it. If you only have managed to master one direction, all right, because then you can obviously just reverse it in post-production. Okay, but if you have the likes of cars or birds flying, they'll obviously be flying backwards, or people walking, they'll be walking backwards. So that's something always to take into account. But I think, you know, it's a great skill to have. I tend to start just by angling it first of all. And once I've got the momentum going, you can just let the drone keep moving, and then you just move it around very, very slightly. In all of the controls, you can see my throttle is just moving up and down a little bit. So let's have another look. I can't look at the controls at the moment. I just know what my controls are doing. So you're going to have a look, and we're going to keep the tree. The tree is the thing that we're going to do, and we're going to move it around once I've got momentum. I've got momentum now, and then we're going to start coming around. Slow it down, 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 and that's more of a yaw spin. And we'll do one there. Let's see. So I always start off. I always tilt it, bank it, and then go back into it. So I think that's probably how I do it. Let me just to try and sum it up. I get the thing in center, I then bank, and then get the momentum, and then start spinning it. But I don't really have like a set way of doing it. I just try and I try and judge it when I've got it right. Yes, I've got it right there. That's the yaw spin that I want. That's the orbit that I want. And I'm coming in slightly, and I'm trying to move backwards as well. And there we go. We're doing one, trying to move. We lost the momentum there, so we're coming again, and then we'll just spin it round and slow it down. There we go. With that said, I think this has been hopefully enough information about how to do yaw spins and also orbits. If you did like this content and you want to see more, then or you think other people would enjoy this content too, then please feel free to like the video. Don't forget that this channel is called David's Videos. It's a way that I can archive all of the things that I've learned, the experiences I've had on YouTube. But you are obviously more than welcome to follow this journey along. If you want to be notified of any time I upload any new videos, then feel free to subscribe. But just remember, I post all different styles of videos: programming, drone videos, cryptocurrency, football stadiums. I talk about living in Germany. I talk about things that I've possibly bought, or things, just basically anything. So, you know, if you don't want to subscribe, if you don't want to see many different types of videos, then don't subscribe. But if you're happy just to see any content that I make, then feel free. And if you've got any feedback, critiques, ideas, or anything like that, then put them in the comment section down below. I'm a very honest, truthful person. You write something, I'll write my honest truth back. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything ever. But I hope you've got something out of this one video. I hope that you've learnt to see what my personal interpretation is of an orbit and how it could be done. I'm sure there's other people out there that say it could be done differently. So be it. This is how I fulfill the task, and this is what I think it looks like: a nice orbit, a nice kind of cinematic view. So with that said, if you want to see more content, then look out for some more drone videos. If there's other FPV manual mode things that you want me to showcase, you know, show how I do it, then obviously I don't do like this diving into holes and so on. I much prefer the cinematic style footage, so don't expect me to do any kind of that stuff, because I don't care about that stuff, quite frankly. I think I like the slow footage. Today, you know, we could take a photo of this here, this mountain with this, like, we could compose this house in there or whatever, and put the drone here, take a nice photo. But when you've got like this moving style photo, I think that's way more nicer today, to have like drone footage where you can reveal, you can let's just come here, for example, you reveal the mountain here, and that was a bad example, but you know what I mean. You're basically going to orbit the tree to basically show the mountain. Obviously we can see the mountain here, but by the time we come to the tree, we want a high frame rate. We want to get the tree there and slow down, boom, and then have the mountain there, all right, and then come around it. That could have been a lot better. I'd have done it probably about 10 times, 15 times to get the perfect shot. I'm not going to do it right now. I might try it one more time. But this is what you need to do, is don't be happy with the first attempt. But if you've set a goal for what you want to do, and you've thought maybe that's probably the best I'm going to achieve out this, with a high frame rate, you'll always solve the task, because you can slow it down as well. With that said, Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and if you've got any feedback, questions, feedback, questions or concerns, start a conversation in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Dave Dawn. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.